Is the heart.
Hey, what up? It's Joel. I'm excited right now. My EP is ready. It's done, mixed, mastered, delivered. It's gonna be released on the 4th of April for 2020. So just right now, wanted to make this behind the scenes series just to kind of explain what went on behind it. There was a lot of work, it took a lot of time. There was a lot of people involved, even though I did end up working on it alone a lot as well. So I just thought it would be cool to kind of give that perspective and understand what went on behind it, how it came to be, and every other detail. So I hope you enjoy. And this is the heart behind the heart.
For us, all that bitterness, resentment makes us prisoners. And it's hard to stay a child when there's hate in us. Cause our hearts are irrelevant when they see us.
All right, so the first thing that comes to mind when I talk about the heart is really the artwork. As you can see on the screen right now, you can kind of see that it's a heart that's like it's been trampled. It's a heart that's around stone, so kind of there's that stone element that you'll understand as you hear the project. There's really it's like there's gold as well on the cover art because it's also talking about what we're trying to be, which is a heart of gold. So really, this whole project was centered around the theme, the heart, and you can see that on the artwork. I did find how I made it is that I found like a photo online that I found interesting, and then I did some edits on it and ended up with the cover that you see here today. All right, so what are the themes behind the project? It's really kind of complete because it's songs that work together. Honestly, I was working on another project that will come out in the future, and this EP was kind of the songs that bled out as I was working on the other project. It wasn't really a planned thing, but then I just saw that there was all these songs that didn't fit the other one that I was working on at the time, and so I decided, you know what, um, what's up with this? You know, I didn't even know where it was headed, and then once I saw kind of where the songs were, I saw that whoa, this is a complete project on its own. It's kind of sometimes you scrap a song or you just put it aside. You say this is not the right time for it, and that's what kind of went on with this project. Is that it's a lot of songs that had a common theme, even though I didn't necessarily know it at the time. So you'll see that the first, you know, I'll break down each song individually, but really the beginning of the project, it's talking a lot about kind of some more somber situations. It's like it's like heartbreak, the pain of death, other types of pain, kind of addiction, bitterness, you know, resentment. It's all those feelings, all those things that are bursting in a heart that can be kind of dangerous for us. So that's what the project is kind of starting off with. Those are the first themes. And then as you go through the project, you'll see the second half of the project. It's a lot more hopeful. It's a lot more, you know, it's kind of like there's a void that it was missing. And then you see it talks a lot about love. This constant theme of love just keeps coming back and back. And it's really kind of the solution that I received in that environment, how to come out of that bitterness, the resentment, the addiction, the pain, and all that. So, you know, it really there is a theme throughout the project. You'll see that there's a progression. There's a little bit of a skit as well, but as you listen, you'll be able to really see how the progression goes, and you'll see that it does end up being very hopeful at the end, and there is hope, and there's kind of a solution to all this. So I'm excited that you hear it. Creatively, this was really a personal project. Like I said, a lot of the songs, you know, for me it was important for my first release, and I didn't know it at the time, but I realized as I was working on it that it was important for me that the songs kind of I work on them a lot myself, not because you know I want to be individual about it, because I love working in teams. I love working with a lot of people on musical projects, but I just felt like it was really personal when I saw those songs start forming. I understood where it was going. Once I understood that, I knew that it had to be really something that I wrote myself, that I even mixed. You know, there's some songs that I maybe wanted to mix and master at other places. Maybe they could have done it even better, but I'm fairly satisfied with how it ended up. Unfortunately, there are a couple songs that I really, really, really liked. I didn't make the cut just because I couldn't get the sound right. So there is a possibility in the future that I release a part two with some of those songs because I just love them so much, and maybe a B-sides at some point. But yeah, a lot of them I recorded myself, either in my own place or at places that I could find that it was quiet enough. Some songs took weeks, months. Others took a couple hours, and they were all finished, mixed, mastered, everything. So there was no, I never rushed with this project. There was no like sense of urgency to finish it by a certain time. Kind of just flowed on its own. Like I said, I was working on something else, and so yeah, it really came organically. And even the people that did end up helping and working on it, it was kind of it was to support what was already in place. So they really brought something to the table, and I wasn't trying to necessarily find an artist and feature with them. It was more like, okay, I'm working on this, and a lot of it just came spontaneously. Like we were working on something else, and then we're in the room, and then one thing's linked to another. We start talking, and then boom, there's a song right there that's finished, or an idea. And so that's how most of the project was. It's really very organic. Finally, what are the my favorite songs? Um, I think it changes every time I listen to it. Right now, I think "Know You" might be up there, as well as the intro. But honestly, I really every time I listen to it, I have to listen to it in order, just because it flows so well. It's like one super long song, to be honest. It's about 30 minutes, so it's not very long. So I hope you can enjoy it. And yeah, let me know what's your feedback. What do you think about it? And what other themes maybe you've identified that I didn't necessarily mention today? So, Joel, I'm out.
All that bitterness, resentment makes us prisoners. And it's hard to stay a child when there's hate in us. Cause our hearts are irrelevant when they see us.